Welcome back for part 2 of the Battle of Incheon. The Red Beach forces, made up of the Regimental Combat Team 5, which included the 3rd Battalion of the Republic of Korea Marine Corps, used ladders to scale the seawalls. Lieutenant Colonel Murray had the mission of seizing an area 3,000 yards long and 1,000 yards deep, extending from Cemetery Hill at the top down to the inner tidal basin, and including in the middle an area called Observatory Hill. The 1st Battalion 5th Marine Regiment will be on the left against Cemetery Hill and northern half of Observatory Hill. The 2nd Battalion 5th Marines would take the southern half of Observatory Hill and Inner Basin. Late on the afternoon of 15 September, the LSTs approached Red Beach, and as the lead ships, they came under heavy mortar and machine gun fire from enemy defenders on Cemetery Hill. Despite the concentrated fire, they disembarked assault troops and unloaded vital support equipment. In addition, their guns wiped out enemy batteries on the right flank of Red Beach. 3 of the 8 LSTs, USS King County, USS Lafayette County, and LST 973, took some hits from mortar and machine gun fire. The LSTs completed unloading and cleared the beach at high tide early on 16 September. After neutralizing enemy defenses at Incheon on the night of 15 September, units from Red Beach opened the causeway to Womee-do, allowing the 3rd Battalion 5th Marines and the tanks from Green Beach to enter the battle for Incheon. The 1st Marine Regiment, under the command of Colonel Louis Chesty Polar, landed at Blue Beach, 2.5 miles southeast of Red and Green Beaches. Their mission, once the beach was secure, was to capture the suburb of Yeongdong-po, cross the Han River, and form the right flank of the attack on Seoul itself. As the 1st Marine Regiment approached the coast, the combined fire from several enemy gun emplacements sank one LST, but destroyer fire and bombing runs silenced the enemy defenses. When the Blue Beach forces finally arrived, the enemy forces at Incheon had already surrendered, so they met little opposition and suffered few additional casualties. The 1st Marine Regiment spent much of its time strengthening the beach and preparing for the move inland. Immediately after the enemy resistance was extinguished in Incheon, the supply and reinforcement process began. U.S. Navy Seabees and underwater demolition teams that had arrived with the U.S. Marines constructed a pontoon dock on Green Beach and cleared debris from the water. The dock was then used to unload the remainder of the LSTs. Early that morning of 16 September, Lieutenant Colonel Murray and Colonel Polar had their operational orders from 1st Marine Division Commander General O.P. Smith. The 1st Marines and 5th Marines began moving along the Incheon-Seoul Road. Early morning on 16 September, the 5th Marines from Red and Green Beaches started generally east along the Incheon-Seoul Road, intending to link up with the left of the 1st Marine Regiment so both regiments could move on Seoul. 6 enemy T-34 tanks moving west towards Incheon appeared as the advancing 5th Marines reached the village of Kongseong-ni. A strike force of 8 Marine F-4U Corsairs from VMF 214 attacked the tanks, destroying 2 and driving the others off. M26 Persian tanks of the 1st Tank Battalion destroyed 3 more enemy tanks shortly thereafter. South of the 5th Marines, the 1st Marines, having spent most of the day consolidating its scattered units, did not move east until 1600 hours. Stay tuned for the conclusion of the Battle of Incheon, and until then, stay salty devils, Semper Fi, and carry on.